is worship in the same context?
Worship. Now, we have to look at the meaning of this word worship. Normally, what we mean by worship is, I regard somebody as something special and I worship that person. Why do I worship that person? Because I want to show my respects to that person. Because I feel he is greater than me, so I must bow down to this person. 1. 2. You must have heard some young college students, if you talk to them, why is it that you are so distraught nowadays? You're not, what to do, uncle, this girl, this class, I worship her. That is another form of worship. Now, you see somebody else. So what are you doing? I am worshipping God. How? In this particular form. That is also worship. So there are different modes of what we call worship. I personally think that you cannot worship anything unless and until I free myself from all the weight that I carry myself. See, we go to temples. There is an image in the temple. Somebody is doing puja. Okay? I go down there. I worship. I bow my head down. I fall flat. I come out. And what do I do next? I see a real human being, a God in human form. Not that image there. God in human form, tugging my finger because he wants some money. And all my worship is over. What I am trying to say is my worship should be with a complete humility that I am nobody. Otherwise one really cannot worship. I am somebody I cannot worship. I have to be. And this comes out of my understanding that I am really nobody. Who am I? I am nobody. What is the difference? I am sitting here, you are sitting, you are breathing, I am breathing, I am eating, I am everything. And then one day you are dying, I am dying. What is it that I am nobody? Now, when I understand this fully, and all the knowledge that I have gathered is confined to my mind and my brain, which can go off at any time. You know it. One part of the brain is gone and one function is finished. I don't have memory. I can suffer from amnesia if some part is gone. So what is it that I have some nothing? So when I understand this nothingness, that I am nothing, then worship begins. You understand what I mean? Then worship begins. Then I worship. This is something outside all this, which is beyond me, which I cannot understand. First I must say I cannot understand. Please. The moment I say I can understand, then I cannot understand. Then what happens here is, the same thing comes into picture. That stillness, that emptiness. Because I am not doing anything. I am just given up. When I am totally given up, what comes is not something which can be defined by any mode of reasoning. Then worship becomes self-worship only. There is no other worship there involved. Then when I say self-worship, it doesn't mean that I am worshipping myself. All selves can be worshipped. There is no... You see that? So even though for practical purposes of living, sometimes one has to consider, you want to be an administrator, you sometimes have to assume a certain role. Deep down one must realize that this is nothing, it is just a drum.